This young female was presented with a firm swelling in the right parotid region. It is a painless swelling which developed few years back, and it is slowly growing in size, and there is no complaint of facial nerve palsy. On ultrasound, a large hypoechoic lesion with lobulated margins is seen within the parotid gland. Just posterior to this hypoechoic lesion, posterior acoustic enhancement is also seen within the parotid gland. In parotid lesions, we have to comment whether the superficial lobe is involved or the deep lobe is involved, because facial nerve passes in between the superficial and deep lobes, and we want to protect the facial nerve. Since almost always facial nerve is not seen within the parotid gland, so we have to use surrogate markers like retromandibular vein or this vascular bundle which separates the superficial lobe from the deep lobe, and on CT we can use some other lines also. No calcification was present. On color Doppler, the lesion shows minimal color flow. If we get any parotid lesion, then we must check the opposite parotid gland also, because many of the lesions involve bilateral parotid glands. So the left parotid gland was normal in this patient. To make the diagnosis, we can think according to the surgical sieve. We ruled out congenital cause based on history. For acquired causes, we can use a mnemonic vitamin D. It is not vascular because no vascular channels were seen, and it is not an age for parotid hemangioma which occurs in children. It is not infective or inflammatory because there was no pain or redness or inflammatory changes on ultrasound like edema or any collection. Autoimmune diseases like Sjogren syndrome will involve bilateral parotid gland with multiple small nodules, which was not there in our case. Traumatic is ruled out by history. The common sense says that it is most likely a neoplastic lesion. For salivary glands, larger the salivary gland, more chances of having a benign tumor are there. So parotid gland usually has benign tumors. Submandibular gland has 50% benign, 50% malignant tumors, and sublingual and minor salivary gland usually has malignant tumors. So in the parotid gland, we will think of pleomorphic adenoma or Warthin's tumor. Warthin's involve around 50-year-old smoker male, and the lesion usually involves lower part of parotid gland near the angle of mandible, and it may be bilateral also. So we will stick to pleomorphic adenoma, which was confirmed on FNAC. The imaging of choice is MRI. Explaining the diagnostic algorithm and the modern dynamic contrast enhanced MRI techniques to distinguish various type of tumors cannot be done in such a short video. You can take the screenshot of the high yield points for MRI diagnosis.